fact, it's a known, but I think what then matters is the will to really pick up from where we are and get to another level. Busega-Mpigi, for example, I see that the camera is actually there. But for one reason, I know the reason the cameras are there right now is because we've actually resumed construction works on this project. Yeah, much delayed, but then do we have the will? Is government getting back on track? Currently, yes, we are. You reported 46%. We're actually now progressing or advancing to 47%. So we believe that by 2027, this project should be ready. And likewise for the other planned and projected projects, they are planned, they must be implemented, must be completed. Because I think we cannot start the good work and somewhere stop it. Yeah, so we've actually not had a situation where a project is started and completely abandoned.
Okay, so let's speak about the fact that, yes, you're saying we're moving to 47. We're looking at the realities and the timelines and the cost of that. I think for everyone that is watching, could you contextualize just how much we have invested, the timelines, but also in terms of what the delays do cost the country?
Yeah, thank you very much. And again, it's a given that when we do feasibility studies, we have factors that we envision or benefits we envision to really realize and achieve. You know, if these benefits are not achieved on time and they are delayed, it means we delay our growth and development. Because in fact, again, infrastructure is an enabler or the foundation on which all other sectors actually of the economy do thrive. So when we actually delay, if a project, for example, has been projected to reduce, say, for example, 20% of travel time.
Yes.
In that moment, and we are not able to deliver it on time, it means people will continue having the longer journeys, delayed travel time, and we will not realize what we projected at the moment within that period of time. So without a doubt, delays will actually derail us and curtail our development goals. Yeah, but like I said again, there are reasons to explain all this. A government cannot actually start a project and say, no, let's abandon it. There is actually a reason as to why this actually happens. And this is not unique to only Uganda, even in the region. These major infrastructure projects do suffer setbacks. Why? Because land doesn't belong to government, first of all. It belongs to the people. So there is a cocktail of disputes when you get on the project to start a road. You'll be surrounded by these disputes. You remember the tree on Busega-Mpigi Expressway that actually took us a bit of haggling and negotiation. Somebody wanted over 500 million shillings. We ended up actually paying 3.7 million shillings. 3.7 million shillings. But that delay alone delayed the project. It was a setback actually, because what does it mean? We had to go into a negotiation, a dispute, consult from the Buganda Kingdom, central government and all other stakeholders whether this tree is indeed is a heritage in this area and shouldn't be touched. But we were actually delayed in that exercise, project delay. Yeah.
I will be getting back to you in just a bit. I just want to bring in Julius here. The reality on ground vis-a-vis the ambitions that government sets out to do. From your own perspective, what significantly stands between Uganda's ambitions when it comes to road projects and the reality that we are faced with?
Thank you very much. Yeah, my name is Julius. As you have introduced, I'm the Member of Parliament for Budadiri East in Sorongo district. Now, you pointed out in the introduction that the infrastructure is one of the enablers which government has set out in the National Development Plan 4 to achieve what they call 10 growth fold strategy. They intend to move the GDP from 69 billion as at the end of this year, financial year, to about 580 by 2040. Now, infrastructure is the driving force behind this. Now, I want to contextualize the cost. For example, if a road is to cost 1 billion, and then you have borrowed that money, almost all the money we have borrowed is for infrastructure. And all infrastructure is almost funded by borrowed money.
Yes.
Our budget current is 84 trillion for this coming year. Out of it, we are collecting only 44 trillion from URA. So already we have a shortfall of 50 trillion, meaning it is going to come from debt or donors. Okay? So Now, whatever project we are going to take, it means we are going to borrow. If, for example, the project is supposed to be 1 billion, and we have borrowed at 10%, now any delay, now that means that we are paying 100 million in interest. That makes the project, you see, there's what we call capitalization of interest. Whenever you are doing a project, the interest that you pay during the construction phase is capitalized, becomes the cost of the project.
Yes.
So even when the actual cost is 1 billion, it will automatically move to 1.1 billion, assuming you implement it in 1 year. Now, assuming there is a delay of 5 years, it means we are going to pay, the cost is going to become 1.5 billion. But the 500 on top is actually not going to be the actual cost. It is just interest payment on the what? On the loan. Now, the implication of this is that our debt is growing because we are not implementing the projects on time. Because if we had implemented on time, then cash flows would come out of this implemented project, and that would be able to reduce the debt. Now, what is the implication now? If the debt has grown, we have what we call debt to GDP. Our debt to GDP is now 53%. It is likely to move to 55%. Now, the risk with a growing debt to GDP ratio is that in case we got a big catastrophe, like the one we had of COVID, and yes, and we're unable, maybe we shut down our economy for 2-3 months, we would not be able to collect enough revenue, okay? And that, for example, now, if we delayed to collect for 4 months, we would lose about 12 trillion. I'm assuming if we are going to collect 44 in a year, average, we are collecting about 3.5 per month. So if we close for 3 to 4 months, we are losing like 12 trillion. It means out of 44, we would get maybe 30. And our debt, we are supposed to pay back 34 for this coming year, 34 trillion. So we would default.
And when we default,
it's a
ripple effect.
Yes, So, but then how does, I want to translate it to the local person. If, for example, the expressway has been built for 1 billion and it has delayed for 5 years and the cost has moved to 1.5. Now, remember, they are going to recover the cost of investment by amortizing. They amortize, they work backwards. They say, okay, how many cars pass on the express daily? Okay, so they work backwards based on the number of cars passing. They say, if they are supposed to pay 5,000 per day, per trip, it may move to 10,000 in order to cover for the extra interest payment. So it is a big cost. Then the other infrastructure projects, although now it is made a road that way, but they are similar. The rationale is the same. Now, if these projects start working, for example, if the SGR was to work, it would half the cost of transport, okay, from Mombasa to Kampala. Currently, here the container comes for $3,500. But once it starts working, it is supposed to bring it to 1,600 per container. Now, if that was to happen, it means the cost of goods in Kampala or in Uganda, it would come down, the unit cost, because of reduced transport cost.
Yes.
So the impact is big. If we had finished, for example, ECOP, the one for transporting crude oil, it would widen our tax base because we would have now service providers coming to work along the pipeline. We would have emergency doctors there. So the effect is big.
Well, I just want to, now that you hear from Julius's submissions, Alan, when you look at the situation, the Auditor General has flagged all of these, delayed projects. What, and many Ugandans want to really understand, what's the issue? Is it, costing? Is it poor planning? Is it financial constraints? Is it land acquisition or just contractor performance? What is the true problem here?
I think it's a mix of issues, but largely all rotating around financial constraints. And I think in the start of the presentation, you did raise the shortfall that we actually suffer at the end of the day. But when we actually say we probably have budgeted for 3 trillion to go into the roads and works or transport sector, and of that actually 500 billion only is realized or released, the big shortfall. So what would that mean? It will constrain projects. that are already ongoing. And I will give you an example. This does not even affect only the government-funded projects, even the donor-funded projects.
Yeah.
Why? Because actually government meets the land acquisition component. So again now, to try and get away from that setback, and I think now government is realizing this, and we're now choosing another approach, that even for projects where we actually borrow, we come together with the land acquisition component. It's borrowed as well, so that the project actually moves. As we acquire land, we're also actually building, so that we don't actually have a setback or delays when we have a financing component for the donor-funded project, but the land acquisition component is missing. Why? Because there's a shortfall from government financing or government releases. So now we'll be able to move together. And that is actually one of the strategies that the government is actually devising. The other one is to ensure that we do not start a project before we have ample right-of-way or really considerable right-of-way. This is the land for which the works should be executed. And we're doing this for the Kampala-Jinja Expressway. Yes, there's been a delay in the project, in the realization of the project, but I know that we're working around the clock. The negotiations are highly advancing right now. But what that has actually enabled us is to acquire over 50% of the right-of-way, so that when the contractor now comes on ground, they find enough land within which to operate and work. So that will again bring down the project delays or even the cost escalations that we experience. We would have gone through the land disputes and resolved them ahead of time.
You do speak about the Kampala-Jinja Expressway, and I want to, if you could, indulge us on the latest update on the financing arrangements that are currently available for the country.
I know that at the moment we are into negotiations. We did identify a contractor who we are now with negotiations right now. Even as I speak today, we have a team that is meeting up together with our entire project team to try and really advance in the negotiations, both financial and technical. We know that by close of this year, we should have actually signed the contract for the works, and the works should be able to start. Why? Because we've been able to, government has actually again released more financing that will go into land acquisition. So for me, actually, land again is another major impediment to project delivery, because without land you cannot, and you can't actually, I can't tomorrow come and say give me land and you actually simply give it to me that way. Sometimes even when we sign consents, again, the money is actually urgent at the moment. So you will say, before you actually start, let me have my money. So we're calling on the public to continuously actually support government of Uganda in delivery of these projects.
The financing arrangements that we're talking about, do you have a sense of if they are in favor of this country? Sometimes I feel you choose some of the most unrealistic arrangements. Is it because those are the ones that are present, or what is the criteria behind these financing arrangements?
I know it's not in our interest, again, to deprive government or the people of Uganda of these benefits.
Yes.
So it has to be that qualifies for the benefit that Ugandans actually anticipate to have. So if it's that is going to give us efficiency, then we will definitely go for it. For example, I will give you an example on the Busega Mpigi Expressway, where initially we had not actually included in the designs the Busega interchange. Why? Because we thought we would go with the main alignment for the expressway and then leave this interchange for a later time. But it would not actually make financial sense. Again, we would not actually realize the benefits of this project if we do not eliminate the gridlock from Busega to Chengera up to Nsanji. So we actually had to revise the project, the design reviews you talked about, revise to include an interchange at Busega, which we believe is going to be a game changer in the reduction of the gridlock along this critical highway. So we went again to borrow, and the African Development Bank has been gracious enough to give us this funding, including the funding for the land acquisition. So we expect now the project to move faster than it's been moving in the past.
I want to get insights from Julius on that particular submission. Julius.
Now, one of the causes of delays is corruption. Recently, there was Minister of Works, Fred Byamukama.
Yes.
He was on he was on this road of Mitiana. Yeah, he said people don't want the project to end because they keep adding from the project. And each payment, they are getting 3% of the payments which come. So corruption is one of they can actually collude. Some government workers can collude with contractors to delay intentionally so that the workers can invoke those clauses of delay and they are compensated, then the money shared. This is true. Then secondly, when they delay, this money, remember, is on their account. They can invest it these government workers, they invest it in maybe in a treasury bill or in these trusts, they earn some interest. Well, the project has not yet started. You remember these billions of money. Even if you put it for 2-3 months, you get a lot of money in terms of interest. So corruption has been a very main issue. Now, in terms of financing, the interest rate which they are using for this project, sometimes it is too high. The president recently said that as at the end of this financial year, the economic growth rate of Uganda would be like 6.4%. But when you look at the average cost of capital that the government uses here is more than 8%. Why? Because they are doing a lot of domestic borrowing, which is expensive. At say 14%, 15% is expensive. Yet this money can be got in those foreign countries at concessional rates of 2.5%, 2-3%. So when you have your cost of capital more than your growth rate, it means you're in a deficit. Okay. So
it's a very tricky position.
Yes.
So we definitely get back to Alan in terms of the status report. When you look at the situation that we have, first and foremost, there is impact of the delays on projects, on trade, on a lot of regional conversations that we are having. And so the conversation is, what are we doing to address the funding gaps that we currently are struggling with? But also the question of, in the middle of the project, we've seen a, first turn back and recalibrate. And that is the conversation we are having. What is it about these projects that cannot be fully undertaken through the feasibility study to just make sure that, you have from the beginning to the completion within that period of time? Or is it a Ugandan thing to actually start? And then, we keep laughing about it. You're like 3 months later, they come back to the road they just commissioned and say we are putting humps. What is wrong with our project mechanisms here? Alan.
I think that's for me. Okay.
Yes.
I thought because there was an issue on funding gaps, so how can we address them? I thought the economist will give us.
Well, let's start from your.
What is it with our project?
Yes.
Frankly, we admittedly, bring. Like you talked about corruption, you talked about shortfalls, we talked about the disputes along the projects that we're implementing. But I want to take us back to the dreams that actually government puts across. For example, in the NDP4, when government says these are the critical projects or the enablers of the economy for the next 10 years, this is a dream that has been, drawn, and it comes. It's planned, and ultimately there should be corresponding financing toward this goal or dream or target. Along the way, again, situations can never be, there's always prevailing situations that can sometimes warrant setbacks. I can give you an example, for example, the current Iran-US war over the Strait of Hormuz. You cannot imagine the setback it has actually caused us in the transport and infrastructure sector. That contractors now have actually scaled back. Why? Because fuel prices, and it's actually beyond the rise in fuel prices, but even other components of these projects. For example, bitumen. Bitumen is a byproduct of these petroleum products. And when they tell you that this strait currently accounts for over, I don't know, about 20 or 30% of shipping movement of these petroleum products, will tell you the impact it's actually having on us. That from the Persian Gulf onto the other global markets, for example, the Indian Ocean, this strait is a very significant shipping tunnel or channel. So right now, because of that prevailing situation, contractors' costs are actually going high. They're not even able to really move or advance as earlier anticipated. So there are also these prevailing challenges that are actually not unique only to Uganda, but will affect us, and these are global shocks that actually come and affect the way we deliver our projects. So while we have the will to say, let's move, then you have a setback that is global in nature. And you already have, now you already have the domestic challenges. Now couple it with the external or global effects. COVID-19, we cannot underestimate the impact it brought to our economy. And actually that's when we started scaling down in financing on our projects. because government then had to realize more financing to finance other sectors of the economy, because it's only infrastructure, there are hospitals, there are schools, and all other social amenities. So you have planned very well, you have a plan, but you have these setbacks in your way that will affect project delays. So when we're looking at delays, NBS, we should not be very quick to, again, be unfair to the government, but also look at the issues that are actually causing these delays. For example, I've given you land disputes. You cannot take someone's land before you've compensated them. And naturally, land, you have probably your land, and among your siblings, you will actually conflict. So before we can actually take that land, you and your siblings must actually agree on who is the actual caretaker. That is, again, another legal and court battle that we have to appreciate and even wait for.
Among those questions is also the question of procurement and contractor selection. That whether as a ministry you want to acknowledge or not seems to be a situation. Do you find yourself between a rock and a hard place? What makes this selection, always end up with contractors that do not necessarily have the same priorities as you or the urgency to address some of these things? Where is the gap in your contractor and procurement selection processes?
Also, in procurement, you must follow the law in delivery of any government project. You must follow the laws, and the procurement laws, among the laws you must actually follow, that projects must be tendered out through an international competitive exercise or process. So that alone is an impediment, because you must allow it to take its course and its time. You can actually say, I will procure this project within 6 months, and it may never be. Why? Because there will be contractor administrative reviews. If I give you a project, he will actually come and put in an administrative review, saying, no, I had a better bid. So then we spend a bit of time haggling and negotiating for us to move. So even the laws, much as actually they direct us to what we should actually do and deliver value for money, they also actually play a role in these project setbacks. But so then on our part is to ensure that we really expedite. we only have to say, let's expedite this project. And I can tell you, we are not seated. Say, okay, let it take its own course. I don't care. No, I know that we have teams there, seated, day in, day out, up to late hours in the night, trying to fix these delays to ensure that we deliver these projects ahead of time. Because these projects are actually not ours. They are Ugandans. It's not Government of Uganda projects. Government of Uganda did sign a contract with Ugandans that will deliver these projects. Government must deliver.
Would you recommend reforms in the procurement processes?
Absolutely, absolutely. And we've actually had to say that we should be supported, and so that we can have shorter procurement timelines and in delivery of these projects.
Well, I just want to bring in Julius with that very submission. What is your take?
You ask what is wrong with us. Why is that things always delayed?
Yes.
Now, I think, like these feasibility studies, they are based on assumptions. Now, if the people preparing them are not well experienced in terms of developing them, they will give wrong assumptions. So when you, for example, cost of capital, startup time, all those, they are just assumptions because you have not yet started. You are just using experience from other projects to develop this and doing. And sometimes they don't go to the field to actually do the surveys. They on the desktop and developing those feasibility studies. So that is one of the things. Then you said how to address the funding gaps.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
This is an issue of widening our tax base. Currently, what Uganda is doing is it is taxing so few people but highly. When we say widening the tax base, we don't mean increasing the taxes, but saying let more people pay taxes. For example, if we were to collect 30% of our GDP, currently here we collect like 15%, or even 20 or 25, we would almost fund our budget 100% without borrowing. But there are people who don't pay taxes, but they are supposed to pay. They qualify. There is a lot of rental tax which people don't pay because there are no proper channels of collection. Then also, the only thing which is going to save us, God has given us oil. We need to accelerate the infrastructure in oil so that we start generating money from oil. And they also, government needs to have proper experts to review certain things. I was looking at mobile money taxes, okay? They're having an effect on our economy because they're affecting the low-income earners more than the rich people. I saw in the last year, the government collected 173 billion in terms of mobile money taxes. But at the same time, the central bank used 194 billion to print new money to replace old notes. Okay? But those old notes would have been replaced, assuming government had reduced the cost of mobile money and people were doing transactions online. No need to have physical cash. In America, if you have cash, you may even die of hunger. People, they say, where's your card? You have to pay by card. So you are using more money to print paper money and adding less from the mobile money corrections. So we need just to work on widening our tax base, but oil is the only thing which is going to help us to bridge this gap.
You do speak about that, and I want to bring in the aspect of Parliament. Parliament continues to approve infrastructure funding for quite some time, yet in the audit reports we have delayed projects all throughout. Where is the accountability gap? Do you take responsibility of the accountability gaps that keep coming forward?
You see, like recently we approved a road for irrigation, 168 million euro for irrigation. Now, personally, I supported it, but I said I did support it because it is the right thing. But we had no option. We have no option.
When you say you had no option?
We had no option because our budget, our own corrections locally are not enough to fund. We can only fund two things. I say we can only fund our debt repayment of 34 and the Ministry of Defense. The Ministry of Defense requires 10 trillion, 10.2. So 34 plus 10, that is what? 44. That is all the corrections of Uganda. Maybe now we had 1.5 trillion coming from oil sector. Okay, so without borrowing, we can't actually survive. For now, we can't survive because our resources are not enough.
When you look at what you borrow and the priorities, do you think those are aligned well? Because if you're borrowing for irrigation,
the intention is good. For example, this irrigation, it is helping farmers in the village. The intention is good. The only problem is now corruption. For example, this loan, we approved 19 million of the 168 is not even for doing the irrigation. It is for paying insurance premium.
The question is, are we taking on more? Are we putting on a plate more than we can chew? When you look at the infrastructure projects, vis-a-vis what we can actually pay for.
We're actually doing a lot. There's what we call overtrading. We're actually doing more than we can. Yeah, that's why in fact, if we did have oil and we continue like for 10 years like this, we would probably shut down. Yeah.
Alan, before we get into a break, I want to certainly ask you, regionally, it is alleged that we have actually more expensive roads than any other. What makes that the case?
That's largely an allegation, actually. We've done our own studies on our project costs, even within the region, actually. And we've actually been telling with all and sundry that you do not want to compare oranges and apples and say maybe they are the same, because they are never the same. So you do not want to, you want to compare an expressway of Uganda to the expressway of Kenya in terms of implementation, because these all go through different implementation hurdles and situations. First, terrain. The cost, you know that for us, we are away from the coastline compared to our neighbors in Kenya. They're direct on the coastline, so access to these materials is faster than it is for us in Uganda. So these comparisons must actually take in different factors. In terms of land, how do we get land? We must buy. Actually, one of the highest cost drivers of our project is land. You know, if I come to Nakauka right now, a plot in Nakauka is actually over 80 million.
Yes.
So, and that government must acquire. So if you have about 100 plots within a 1 kilometer radius, so you know actually how much you actually have to pay. So you find that the cost of construction is now almost near the cost of the project itself, the physical works. So, and this is a fact that we must deal with. Land belongs to the people, and we must actually acquire this land. And we must build you bigger roads. For example, now we had envisioned to say the Chaliwajala, Chira, Kasangati Matuga Road. At some point, we had dualized Chaliwajala section up to Chira, but now we're considering dualing the entire project. So we can actually unlock those benefits that the project is likely to give us. So we want to build better roads you know, but we must then actually meet the costs as well. They say if you want to eat an omelette, you must break an egg. So our projects are expensive, yes. One of the reasons I've given you is we must buy the land, but also our access to the sea is distant. So our project's cost will actually be higher than the rest in the region or elsewhere.
Thank you so much. We are taking a short break. We continue with the conversations of what the true cost is for delayed road projects in the country. We return after this break.
Why pay for someone else's repairs? Say goodbye to hidden costs and hello to peace of mind of a brand new start. Discover the Suzuki range of unmatched, fuel-efficient and reliable options. From the iconic Jimny to the new Across Hybrid. Find the perfect blend of style and world-class efficiency. Upgrade today and enjoy 1 year of free fuel and comprehensive insurance, plus 2 years of free service and a 3-year warranty. Trade in your current car or choose financing to start driving as you pay installments. Don't wait. Visit the Suzuki showroom today or call 0800 211 033 to get started.
The National Mosquito Net Distribution Campaign is back. No one should die of malaria in this era. It is your responsibility to chase malaria from your home. The good news is that the government of Uganda has once again started distribution of mosquito nets under the 5th Universal Coverage Campaign, also known as the Under the Net campaign. Under this exercise, 1 mosquito net will be distributed per 2 people in every household. A village health team member, a community health extension worker, also known as a CHU, and the LC1 chairperson will move house to house to register members of the household in preparation for receiving their mosquito nets. Do not lie back. Ensure that you register all your household members to receive a mosquito net. On the distribution date, move to your distribution point and receive your net. Mosquito nets protect you and your family members from infectious mosquito bites that lead to malaria. Ensure that you receive the net, hang the net, and sleep under the net every night.
The problem is the foundation.
Do you know the kind of cement I'm using in this foundation? I guarantee you even my grandchildren will come and find this house.
You buy your buy today and get the job done. Strong, reliable, available at hardware shops countrywide.
We understand that everyone yearns for a clean, tidy, and convenient working environment. That's why 7-Star Cleaning Services, we strive to provide highly customizable cleaning solutions using environmentally friendly chemicals, state-of-the-art equipment, and well-trained workforce for our clients. Visit our head office, Plot 4691, Ntinda Chisasi Road. Contact us on our official lines 0393 243 503 or visit our social media platforms. 7-Star Cleaning Services, a remarkable difference.
Flavor Mukachupa. Test our refreshing, juicy flavors in our 250 ml and 400 ml packs. Splash Kachupa. Flavor Mukachupa. Flavor on the
go. Are you planning an event? Think of X Events. For the best photography and videography of all kinds, we believe that every moment is worth capturing. Whether Kwanjula, weddings, Kuhinjira, bringing out the culture and glamour. And of course, a professional team that has mastered the art of the game and pro-gear with elegance. X Events is located along Rubaga Road on Access Building opposite Hotel Sojavalo. X Events, capturing your precious moments.
Welcome back. You are watching NBS Morning Breeze. It is topical discussion today. Our keen interest is in the infrastructure projects that are across the country. We're taking a look from roads to bridges and what the true cost is for those that have delayed. Indeed, with me in studio is, of course, Julius and Alan, an economist and also a person from the Ministry of Works. We're getting into the conversations away from the roads, Alan. Let's get into the bridges. Karuma is one of those. Just a quick status report on that.
Yeah, finally we're having a bridge at Karuma, a new, bigger, better bridge at Karuma. That's very good news, and we should sign this contract before the end of this year. I don't even think in the next 3 months this contract should be signed. Our funding partners, JICA, the government of Japan, has already funded this project, and we should have a contract signed before the close of this year. So we're going to have a new bridge along that critical corridor. Likewise, we're going to be looking at Pakwachi Bridge. Is also steadily deteriorating, so we're also moving very quickly to have a direct procurement to also have a new bridge along that corridor that connects us to West Nile.
That is good news.
Yes.
Let's speak about your traffic management systems and measures. Those always seem to really rub Ugandans the wrong way. What are you doing better about it, and why does it always look like it's an accidental rehabilitation, and then we get to know about it, Ugandans complain, then we get a statement?
No, and I think proactive communication for us should be our guide. We should be able to have advanced communications before these works are executed. I personally have pains with some of our contractors. Some actually, take it for granted until they get on site. I know these are critical corridors that affect livelihoods, and people must connect. So you cannot wake up today like it's an emergency. If it was an emergency at Katonga, I would agree. So therefore we close up very quickly until you divert to Sembabule. But if you've actually had these works planned, to our contractors, please mind about the lives of Ugandans, mind about the time of Ugandans, have advanced communications ahead of time, so that people will actually know what is going to happen on that road or that corridor before they get on site. So I'm able to plan better, plan my time, and also maybe divert to somewhere else, to other alternatives, and avoid the traffic congestion. So this is what we're telling our contractors and through our project teams, that we must know ahead of time whenever there's going to be these works, so that we alert Ugandans to prepare for this congestion, or maybe have other alternatives or plan their journeys accordingly or ahead of time.
Okay. We'll be getting back to the conversation on congestion and rehabilitation in just a bit. But let me cross to Julius. Julius, you are an economist. How much does the country lose in terms of money when it comes to congestion, traffic mess, the jam that we experience? How much do you think we lose as a country because of that?
Yeah, of course, I've not read a research on the actual the quantified cost in terms of monetary terms, but in general terms, it is a cost because one, there's delay in economic activities. For example, from Kampala to Mukono, you take 3 hours. If I'm going to Mbale, the journey is 5 hours, but 3 hours are lost between Kampala and Jinja. And then and that's a distance of 80 kilometers. Then the remaining distance, like 150 kilometers, I use only 2 hours. So because of those delays in terms of business, that means there's a reduction in economic activities. And then also there's a lot of fuel which is used in terms of traffic. You see, when you stay in traffic for long, it means you are consuming bigger quantities of that money. Probably you would have saved it and invested it in your piggery project, or to buy feeds for your chicken at home. But because you have spent it now in terms of the fuel, it has an impact. The impact is big. Yeah. So traffic in general, it is a cost to business because it delays the cost of turning around the transactions. It is a cost in terms of the fuel itself that you use, and also there's environmental cost. There's environmental cost in terms of emissions and all that. So probably when these people finish the construction and we move faster, when you are driving at high speed, you consume less. Yeah, like if you are driving at 100 kilometers per hour, that one is the optimum speed at which you maximize your fuel consumption. Yeah, so
Well, yes,
I can tell you his neighbors in Kapchora, when in the time, I think around 2012, 2011, to cross to Swam, the border with Uganda and Kenya, you had to go through, connect through Kenya and come back to Uganda.
No, even when we were young, from our village in Mutufu, we have a place called Mutufu. To go to Mbale town, the distance is like 25 kilometers. Our father would take a full, maybe even 2 days. Sometimes
gentlemen, as we get into the conversation, let's talk about maintenance. The kind of maintenance works you're taking on as a ministry, and just how much are you prioritizing that to avoid the rehabilitation costs we are incurring as a country?
In fact, it gets costly if you don't maintain the roads. So, and we're now trying to balance this picture. And thankfully, His Excellency the President did commit, said if there are no resources, these resources should be found to maintain our road network, to keep them alive. And the maintenance is not only for the paved roads, the ones that are actually tarmacked, but even the Maram gravel roads, because that is actually the last mile connectivity that links this ordinary Ugandan to markets and other essential services. So there's now prioritization for maintenance of projects that we must, ahead of time, maintain these projects before they deteriorate. A stitch in time saves nine. So you must come in time before there is a deterioration of big magnitude and save Ugandans on travel pains, costs, and all other accompanying delays. So I think more than before, government of Uganda is now prioritizing maintenance of roads.
But just on that very one, district roads, we've seen a lot of menace all over the place when it comes to the districts and what they're doing, bring the machines, drop them there, delay a little bit, incur more costs so that as you hire equipment, pay an extra day. Just how much oversight is between the ministry and the district boards when it comes to road maintenance and road construction and all these things to just avoid the extra money we lose as a country?
The spotlight is actually on the district local governments and the sub-counties now, because when government releases this money, the expectation is people must, the leadership or the local governments must account, it must actually do the work. And you've seen many a time these leaders brought into the cameras to actually explain how this money has actually been utilized. So yes, there is increasing spotlight, because again, than ever before, we now have consideration for this last person. What we call the last mile connectivity. How do we link this person at the grassroots or in the remote areas connected onto the main trunk road, the tarmac road? So now we put more focus and attention on those remote areas so that they are as well connected. So there is now spotlight on local governments, the district local governments, more than before, to deliver on what they are expected, especially whenever we channel funds, they must do exactly what they've been prioritized to do. So I see there is a lot of spotlight now on the urban authorities and district local governments than ever before to account to the public on what these funds have actually done. And the Ministry of Works is at top of that now.
Julius, is that sufficient?
In terms of district roads, you see, the districts are not having the same geography. Now, for us from the Elgon zone, in the Bugisa, our geography is very bad. And the weather, it is always raining. Now, whenever they give us 1 billion, the same like other districts, we actually suffer. So we are requesting that the government actually considers increasing money for the districts, for particular districts, say in those hard to reach areas like Sironko, Mbale, those ones are very difficult. So I think I'll be writing to the Ministry of Fishery. Even the President said that if you feel the fund is not enough for your area, so I'll be coming to my man in the ministry.
There we go. Gentlemen, as we come to a conclusion, I am going to ask each of you, if you were to have one reform made to just make sure we have road deliveries within the scheduled time, what would it be?
Yeah, procurement. For me, I would reform procurement. One, centralize it for certain things. For example, if we need to buy graders, there's no need to advertise in Uganda because there's no person who can supply graders here. Whoever will supply is a broker. Those guys, we know where they are made from. Yes. So let the government just go to those people, do direct procurement to reduce the bureaucracy and also the avenues for corruption. And even commissions, there's also, it is business. When someone gets a contract to supply graders, for example, he's supposed to add his profit. And then you'll get another broker the other side where it's buying to help him connect with the. So let's do direct procurement for certain things. Yeah, so that we don't eliminate small traders here for this small procurement.
So procurement would be the reform for Julius. Alan?
I think for me it's prioritization, and the President has expressed it again and again, that we should take on what we can chew. I mean, you can only stretch your legs according to the size of your blanket, or else you'll be in the cold. So if we can only prioritize and take on only that we can deliver, then we'll move so far.
Well, thank you so much, gentlemen. Julius Nachi, who is the Member of Parliament for Budadiri East, who has joined us on topical discussion. I also had Alan Sempewa, who is a Senior Communications Officer at the Ministry of Works and Transport. My name is Tracy Kansime. You've been watching topical discussion, and the conversation will certainly continue as we monitor the projects, the infrastructure projects in the country. Will it be prioritization, or will it be procurement reforms that do save us the costly impact of delayed road projects? Well, that is a matter of time as we take note of that. But we also remember that if you are indeed trying to, send money or receive money, remember to download a SendWave off your App Store or Google Play Store, and be sure to get these particular products onto your phone. It is indeed, if you're sending or transacting from SendWave to SendWave, you do not incur any cost, but also you can do this across 110 plus countries. So be sure to get yourself SendWave. My name is Tracy Kansime. Have a good morning.
Love doesn't end at I do. That's where the real journey begins. This year, the Bride and Groom Expo 2026 invites you to experience Beyond I Do, a journey of love, home and family. From planning your dream wedding to building your dream home, from unforgettable honeymoons to starting a family and making the right financial decisions for your future, it's all here under one roof. Meet trusted experts in home living, real estate, finance, parenting and lifestyle. Discover ideas, solutions, and inspiration to guide your next chapter. Whether you're newly engaged, newly married, or building your future together, this is your complete life journey experience. Happening 26 to 28 June 2026 at the Uma Multipurpose Hall. To book a stall, call 0772 354 940. Don't just plan a wedding, plan beyond it.
And that's it for today. Till the next episode.
Like a daily bando, like a daily bando, like a daily bando. Omuliro nguwulira muli mu mutima kukankana like drums. Kalakata, kalakata, endungu ya kusabula. We gonna do free of fire, free of fire, free of fire.
There's only one Vinny J.
Football is better with Pepsi. Pepsi, thirsty for more.
August 2026 is here! And Yada for Life presents Mujatu Sinze 2026 Nsima edition on Saturday 29th August 2026 at Imperial Royal Hotel with a lineup of heavenly voices and ministers. Are you grateful to God for what He has done and accomplished in your life? Do you have a reason to ultimately thank God for? Get your deluxe ticket for 30k, gold for 50k, platinum for 100k, and a table at 2 million. Doors open at 4 p.m. Buy your ticket at Unique Uniforms, Uganda House, and at House of Rest, Former Fido Dido. For bookings and reservations, call 0760-595-316 or 0708-766-536. Mujatu Sinze 2026 Nsima edition, and proudly sponsored by Yuga Tunes, Afro Mobile, Yuka TV, and NBS Music.
Welcome to Radio Wala, Uganda's very first radio station made just for Indian diaspora and lovers of Indian culture. From timeless Bollywood classics to today's hottest hits. Vibrant festivals, mouth-watering stories, and heartfelt moments from our community. Listen exclusively on Afro Mobile, your cultural connection anytime, anywhere. Whether you're cooking, driving, or just relaxing, turn up the joy with Radio Wala, because here, every day is a celebration. Radio Wala, let's play.
Too many ads? Expensive subscription? You deserve better. And artists, thousands of plays, but nothing to show for it. This ends now. Introducing Yuga Tunes, the new home of your favorite music on Afro Mobile. Listeners, stream your favorite songs ad-free at no cost. Artists, earn from every stream. Withdraw your royalties anytime from as low as 20,000 Uganda shillings. This is music that pays off. This is music that belongs to you. Yuga Tunes, your sound, your stage, your reward.
Comedy Festival biabiri mukage lirugogo muhuma showground mutenti bwaguga ku Saturday nga July buli comedian gwamanyi mu Uganda wano aja kubeerayo Amoti Malanguzi, MC Mariaki, MC Kapale, Madrata Nchiko, Maulana and Rain, Mary Hat Tumbetu, Bizonto, Mickey Sims Too Funny, Mswangere, Ticha Mpamile, Bobby Brown and Nilo Nilo, Sabian Shawan, Tata Oya Kite, Tata Sam, Mama Sam, Tulibulana family, Abazebe Bama, Sangana Antume, Muzai Kaladi, Kachapizo, Ivan She Queen, Malaria Chisati, The Talkers, Karera, Namyomba Comedy, Kojakabaya Nekas Wekapo, Chukamba Nsani, Samuel Hash, Fizi Pro, Ticket Yozigula Kumomo, Kamunyenye Mumkaga Tano, Kamunyenye Bili Zero, Kadara, Ticket Yobojigula Kumomo, Ticket Yebera Yevi Chitum, Ate Kumiliango, Ejakwera Yesatu, VIP Kumomo, Emitware na, Kumiliango, Emitware Tano, Emeze Yabantu Munana, ya milioni Bili, Kale Booking Anga Buchari, Juliana Kanyongozi, King Saha, Winnie Nwaji, Irene Nambiru, Nganya July Yerugogo, Muma Showground, Comedy Festival Bilabili Mukaga, Ategekedwa, Abitex Promotion. Bana Uganda twaniriza Joseph Ngoma mu concert yesose kulugogo cricket ovo nga 10 mu July 2026. Tickets za mitwale 2, emitwale 5, atemeze y'abantu 8 ya milioni 3. Tickets ojazisanga ku carrytickets.com, Friend Supermarket ne ku Hotel Triangle. Kwa note 756 558 Chino chetu bade tulinda. Joseph Ngoma, mwana mulenzo muhandisi, Vocal Powerhouse. Arudenga konko nendongo. Ekute ku mitima j'abana Uganda. Gendongo yenyuma, eyimusa. Ekuwe subi. Haji kuya mu style yo mulembe. Kati ategese chitabanga wo. Twagala cricket ovo. Ejure kumulondi gunogoka babulaza mutware kwa ba sister out bitegekedwa charism nebiwagirwa
NBS TV, Senyuka TV, and Afro Mobile presents Omlagen House's Shenza Productions Band every last Saturday and first Saturday of the month at Vibes Hub Chiwenda, opposite Prime Pero Station. Do you have any function and you need entertainment? Call 0709-616-093. Sponsored by Silver Bubble Studios, NBS TV, Senyuka TV, and Afro Mobile.
The world is going
going digital, and creativity is no longer just a passion, it's a pathway. Next Creator is building dignified job opportunities for young people by turning creativity into real careers. It's about more than just content. It's about learning digital skills that lead to sustainable income, branding yourself with confidence, understanding influence, and the digital economy. Next Creator equips young creators with the tools they need to grow, adapt, and thrive in a fast-changing world. If you want to turn your ideas into opportunities, if you want to make creativity work for you, this is where you start. Next Creator, your skills, your future, your opportunity.
NBS. Always.
For years, the insurance industry has sang the same tune. Insurance penetration remains low. But why does this song never seem to change? Is it because innovation is failing to meet customer needs? Or is there a skills gap within the sector itself? And most importantly, when will Uganda finally move beyond the 1% penetration mark? Tonight on Business Perspective, we ask the tough questions. Is the industry truly committed to changing the narrative, or will the same song continue to play? Welcome. This is Business Perspective. I am Isabella Tugume. Uganda is home to one of the youngest populations in the world, a nation in motion. From the bustling trading lanes of Kampala to the fertile farmlands that feed the region, economic activity here is constant, energetic, and growing. Trade, agriculture, manufacturing. These are the engines driving Uganda's economy forward. However, behind this growth lies a striking gap. Insurance penetration in Uganda remains below 1%, a figure that raises an important question as the economy expands. Why does protection lag behind? This is Kamocha Market on a Friday morning. The energy here is undeniable. Traders moving merchandise, customers negotiating prices, and commerce happening in real time. But ask these traders about insurance, and the conversation shifts. Awareness is low, protection is rare, and the issue isn't isolated to trade alone.
Government yaffe yetaaga okutereezaamu ku buli kimu. Wakati insurance nga nze Rastafari nja gitegeera. Ne wali atagitegeera. Nga wuli akagambo ki? Insurance. Ogwo gwali badde musomo mulamba. Nga abantu waki mutekawo ko ku musomo nga ku TV zaffe zino ze tusinga okulaba zisanyuka TV. Ne mutekawo ka program nga ko kakutegeeza abantu. Big up nga kakutegeeza abantu insurance etegeeza ki? Kuba insurance ya bintu etegeeza ebintu bingi. Waliwo life insurance, waliwo kwegamba bingi etc.
Let's turn to agriculture, the backbone of Uganda's economy. Despite efforts by agricultural insurance consortiums to extend coverage, uptake remains limited, held back by a number of barriers on ground. Insurance awareness and penetration remain a work in progress across Uganda's economy. If customers still do not understand products being offered, where does the problem lie? Is it in the products themselves, the communication, or the professionalism within the sector? After the break, we look at the missing link.
Every taxi, truck, bus or boda you see on the road is a business. And every time you don't take good care of it, you risk losing money. That's why we created Union Oil to keep your vehicle's engine well oiled and your business running smoothly.
Ono ye wafe, boda, taxi, bus and truck drivers, not forgetting you my kazi. Use Union engine oil for superior protection and high engine performance. Order from any Union depot or Union stockist duka. Union, the better way.
Influence is more than followers, it's impact. At Next Influencer, we connect brands with the right voices through a thorough vetting and discovery process. We onboard influencers with hands-on workshops that build skills, unlock real opportunities, and fuel professional growth. Brands find the perfect match, influencers get dignified jobs, and audiences experience authentic stories. This is where influence becomes value. Next Influencer. Create, discover, connect, influence.
MTN voice bundle. Load. Hey. Hello, Mama. Hey, it is me, your son, Opio. Hey, now, Mama, listen to me. MTN has the offer. Yes, it has the offer. You load from 7 a.m. to 8 a.m. Now, they have free MTN to MTN minutes. And those minutes are there all day. So you load, you'll thank me later. Hey, Mama.
Load an MTN voice bundle between 7 a.m. and 8 a.m. and get 3 free MTN to MTN minutes valid all day. Dial *100 *21# and get your free minutes bully daily. Free your fire with free minutes from MTN. Together, our connection is unstoppable. MTN.
Reggae live in concert at Kolo Airstrip. Na Musambu August. Chefuro Chigenda Kubera. Get ready for the biggest Ugandan show. Mustali ya Kitompora, Waguru Matara. Screen, stage, ne sound. Ngabiona. Ya Phenom Records. Sinye mtuare satwe. Hare badi ngo konsa momo. Mtuare vili. Lete mtuare tano. Hare badi ngo kuzeku momo. Mtuare satu. Emeze yaba tumkage milioni bili. Yaba tumana ya milioni satu. Niga kamunyenye mumkage tano kamunyenye bili zero. Otunga tiketi yawe. Reiji. Yata hawasan Uganda namani. Hati ninye tabembara. Hababushenyi. Higara. Yantonde. Habeibanda. Rukunjiri. Muije mrebo mwana wanyu. Nachtera. Nach Honda. No shot wagara mwebyani bya nyomate. Ebishagara. Ebishapa stacking. Koranyenye. Kolo Airstrip. Musambu August. Bitegekedwa. Abitex Promotions.
Uganda is more connected than ever before. From mobile broadband to digital payments, access is no longer the challenge. But the real question is, how do we turn this connectivity into real opportunity? Introducing the State of the Digital Economy 2026, Uganda's annual digital check on how we go beyond connectivity to jobs, innovation, and economic growth. Across 5 key pillars: human capital, cybersecurity, policy, artificial intelligence, and infrastructure. This is how we build a workforce that creates, unlock digital jobs and income, ensure trust and security, enable smarter policies, and connect Ugandans to global opportunities. Don't just be online, be part of what's next. Partner with us to shape Uganda's digital future.
to 19 July, everything can wait. The FIFA World Cup 2026. Catch all 104 matches on 4 dedicated channels, live on SuperSport, only on GoTV.
Welcome to NBS Plus, where you take center stage. Be bold, be loud, be creative. From the hottest entertainment to the biggest stories to the boldest voices, this is your space, your vibe. No limits, no filters, just you living, creating, and owning your moment. Only on NBS Plus. Simply download the Afro Mobile app to enjoy all the vibes. NBS Plus, be you.
Love doesn't end at I do. That's where the real journey begins. This year, the Bride and Groom Expo 2026 invites you to experience Beyond I Do, a journey of love, home and family. From planning your dream wedding to building your dream home, from unforgettable honeymoons to starting a family and making the right financial decisions for your future, it's all here under one roof. Meet trusted experts in home living, real estate, finance, parenting and lifestyle. Discover ideas, solutions, and inspiration to guide your next chapter. Whether you're newly engaged, newly married, or building your future together, this is your complete life journey experience. Happening 26 to 28 June 2026 at the Uma Multipurpose Hall. To book a stall, call 0772 354 940. Don't just plan a wedding, plan beyond it.
abalimi ba Uganda babano bavuddeyo abayiyambye obulimi n'obulunzi basenvudde bonna bakuŋŋaanye lumo. Sanyuka TV ekuleetedde omwoleso gw'ebyobulimi n'obulunzi. Tulime, tulunde, tufune Agric Expo Julayi nga 24 paka 26. Enkuyanja y'abalimi bamusiga nsimbi, abayiiya, abalina obutale n'abasuubula ebirime bonna mu kifo kimu. Guno si mwoleso bwoleso wabula enno ntabiro ebyobulimi n'obulunzi mu Uganda. Jangu osisinkane abakugu oyige ate okulaakulane mu mwoleso gw'ebyobulimi n'obulunzi. Tulime, tulunde, tufune Agric Expo Julayi nga 24 paka nga 26 ku Next Media Park. Okumanya ebisingawo kuba ennamba yaffe 076M 00M 890.
August 2026 is here! And Yada for Life presents Mujato CZ 2026 Nsima edition on Saturday 29th August 2026 at Imperial Royal Hotel with a lineup of heavenly voices and ministers. Are you grateful to God for what He has done and accomplished in your life? Do you have a reason to ultimately thank God for? Get your deluxe ticket for 30k, gold for 50k, platinum for 100k, and the table at 2 million. Doors open at 4 p.m. Buy your ticket at Unique Uniforms, Uganda House, and at House of Rest, former Fido Dido. For bookings and reservations, call 0760-595-316 or 0708-766-536. Mujato CZ 2026 Nsima edition, and proudly sponsored by Yuga Tunes, Afro Mobile, Yuka TV, and NBS Music.
Welcome back from the break. You're still watching NBS's Business Perspective. We value your feedback. Reach out to us across all socials or using the hashtag NBS Business. Now, today's customer is more informed than ever. With information available at the click of a button, expectations are changing really fast. In the digital era, understanding and keeping pace with clients is crucial. Let us explore this. Uganda's insurance industry is growing steadily. Gross written premiums have risen from less than 1 trillion Ugandan shillings a decade ago to well over 1.8 trillion today. And yet, insurance penetration remains below 1% of the GDP, far below global average of nearly 7% and the African average of 3%. For an industry seeking to expand its reach, products alone would not be enough. Growth depends on people, professionals designing policies, assessing risks, settling claims, and driving innovation. So who is preparing the next generation of insurance professionals, and are they equipped for a future increasingly shaped by technology, data, and emerging risks? To answer that, we sat down with Saul Serembe, the CEO of the Insurance Training College of Uganda. In as much as the insurance penetration in Uganda remains low, the sector continues to grow. Sure. And as it grows, it means that it requires the right people with the right skills. So sure. We want to find out from you, do you believe the industry is producing enough talent to support its future ambition?
When we talk about the industry, the insurance sector, I think we've moved. We may not be where we want to be, but there have been efforts to ensure that we move in the right direction. When you look at the setup of the Insurance Training College specifically, our mandate is to train to ensure that we churn out the right professionals competent for the sector, not just in Uganda, but in the region as well. One of those things that I usually talk about when we are talking about professionalism is trust. And if an industry is to grow, we need to build that trust. And if we are to build trust, we must have the right professionals in this industry. So when you look at the new things coming up, I think our industry has been disrupted so much. You're hearing about the technology coming through. You're hearing about COVID coming in. We have the AI now getting into the... So there are lots of disruptions. That means the professional must move ahead of this. So I can't say that we're in the right direction, but we are not yet where we should be as far as the right professionals are in this industry.
As the industry evolves, technical competence alone is no longer enough. A modern insurance professional must combine expertise with innovation, digital literacy, and customer understanding. What or how does a world-class professional insurance person look like in this year, 2026? What qualities must they possess?
Perfect. I want to take you a little back. When we were training people in insurance 10 years ago, we were looking at competence and skills to enable them, technical skills to enable them to do the work. And you look at most of the programs that we are running, the focus was on underwriting, risk assessment, marketing, and then that was the thing. Today, everything has changed. You realize that now a professional should be agile. Competence is not enough. A professional should be client-centric, someone who can handle the client. Because as I told you, as we are building the trust, we must be able to understand the clients that we are dealing with. And the mechanics of the clients are changing every now and then. The Gen Zs are coming up. What they want is too much, compared to what we had previously.
Global insurers are investing billions in artificial intelligence, predictive analytics, and cyber risk management. The future of insurance is increasingly data-driven, but how is Uganda's workforce ready for that future? In your view, I want to ask, what separates, for lack of a better word, mature insurance markets from developing markets like Uganda?
I want to look at it from two angles. One from the market side, but also from the side of the professionals. And I want to compare markets like South Africa and Uganda, or UK and Uganda. These are very mature markets. And when you look at these markets, the level of trust in the insurance business has been developed to a very high level. What is happening in these markets? Insurance is not an option. When someone is looking at the things they are supposed to spend on, insurance comes among the top priorities. So in such markets, the efforts are not about selling insurance to people, but rather creating a diversity of products for the different categories that keep coming up. Now in our markets, we are still struggling with building trust. As we are talking about insurance, you must also ensure that you build trust for people to understand that they need insurance. It's a necessity, but you must dig deeper to convince them that insurance is a necessity for them. So that is one of those things that we must look at. But when you look at the other markets, they are also awash with all sorts of products. When you go to UK, South Africa, you realize that there are products that you cannot even think about. Well, in Uganda here, we've started the dog insurance, I think by Swiko. But you go there, you can insure your arm, you can insure your legs, you can insure your eyes, there is a product for everything. They have been able to come up with a product that suits every need of the client. Now, here, we are still moving at a slower pace.
Insurance penetration in Uganda markets often exceeds 10% in the GDP. In countries such as the United Kingdom and South Africa, insurance forms are a central pillar of economic resilience and wealth protection. What separates those mature markets from developing markets like Uganda?
As a trainer, I think the responsibility is on us, not the market. We must move ahead of the market to ensure that as the market dynamics are changing, we've also changed the way we teach, such that as those other things are coming up, the market is ready. And we've tried. When you look at the trainings that we offer now, we've done a lot of cyber risk management for the markets. We are now getting into AI.
The risks businesses face today are dramatically different from those a decade ago. Climate change, cyber attacks, digital fraud, and evolving health threats are reshaping the industry. So, how pertinent or how important is continuous professional development in an industry where risks are also constantly evolving?
I think one of those things that are very dynamic are risks. A risk keeps changing and it is very dynamic. The risks that we are looking at 10 years ago, 5 years ago are totally different now. Today we are talking about cyber. Cyber is more prevalent compared to how it was 10 years ago. We are talking about pandemic. It has shown us that it can disrupt the market. That was not the case way back. We are talking about Takaful. 15 years ago, we never thought we would be having Islamic insurance as another angle of insurance. So, continuous development programs are more so the ones that we are running. Assist the members of the industry to acquire new skills. And in acquiring new skills, they are kept updated with the latest trends.
Industry experts agree that increasing insurance penetration will require more awareness campaigns. It will depend and will demand skilled professionals capable of designing products that meet the realities of Ugandan consumers and businesses. So, if Uganda is to achieve higher insurance penetration over the next decade, what role will a professional education play? This is where your institution comes into play.
And you know, insurance is about trust. I've been talking to people in the past few weeks about how trust can build business resilience, right from the banking sector and insurance. But when you look at our sector, insurance, it is even more important than any other sector because your business is heavily hinged on how people perceive your service. Insurance, unlike other businesses, other products, it is not tangible. It's a promise. In case this happens, I'm there for you. Now, in order for you to convince this person, there must be a lot of trust. Now, how do we build this trust? Education institutions are very central in building this trust from two angles. One, do you have the right people? Because another question will come up. How did we lose this trust? Maybe there were people who were not professional, who said wrong things to people, who were not honest with people. So, as an educationist, our role is to ensure that we train people in order for them to appreciate the business they are in.
Across East Africa, competition for specialist insurance talent is intensifying. Markets are racing to build expertise in actual science, digital underwriting, and risk analytics. Globally, we have noticed insurers are investing heavily in digital capabilities as well as specialized talent. So, with regards to Uganda, are we moving fast enough to remain competitive in the regional and global insurance landscape?
I wouldn't say we are very fast, but we are steady. When you look at the pace that we are taking, we are steady. And I think the steps that we've taken are promising. When you look at the investments that are being taken in the industry, you realize that we are mindful of the client. Today, you buy your third party online. You don't have to go anywhere. So very soon, the stickers are out of business. You see? Why? Because we realize that the client will not be driving around just to find a spot where to buy a sticker. When you go to Marine, now Marine can be bought online. And there are lots of other products that we are seeing companies putting on online platforms. We are seeing a lot of innovations coming up. And all these innovations are putting the client at the center.
As we look beyond today's challenges, one question remains. What kind of insurance industry should Uganda aspire to build by 2035? The world has become a global village. Customers can compare products, experiences, and services standards from everywhere. If insurers fail to deliver value and build trust, penetration rates might remain stagnant. So what are insurance companies doing differently to win back confidence and grow the market?
In a digital world, not everything is what it seems. False stories today spread faster than truth, leaving us all wondering what's real. Disinformation misleads, misinformation misguides and spreads confusion and fear. Dismiss, a campaign to help you think critically, question wisely, and verify thoroughly. Join us. Let's build a more informed Uganda, one truth at a time. Dismiss, inquire, verify, confirm. Together, let's fight fake news.
Looking for a household cleaner that truly delivers? Meet Appo, the antibacterial cleaning powder for bathrooms and surfaces. Appo is formulated for 3-dimensional cleaning. It's a scouring agent that scrubs off dirt and stains, a germicide that kills 99.9% of household germs, and it works with water to wash everything away, leaving your bathrooms and ceramics hygienic and sparkling clean. Keep up hygiene standards without breaking the budget. Switch to Appo today. Appo is available at supermarkets and convenience stores countrywide.
My name is Ragu David, the head teacher of the Kabela Comprehensive Secondary School. You know, with this new curriculum that they have introduced, this competence-based curriculum, it really requires computers. So we had challenges when it comes to research, because now we had no computers. Our learners could not do any research. Even the teaching, I would say, it was more of the old curriculum. We were one of the luckiest schools to benefit from this UKUSAF program. We got around 21 computers, the flat screen. They also gave us the headsets, 21. They also gave us solar, 6 panels, then also 4 big batteries to run those computers. And when they gave us these computers, it now simplified our work. Because you would give the learners activity, they go and do research. One of the recommendations I would maybe say is to add more computers, because the number of learners is actually more than the number of computers.
NBS TV, Senyuka TV, and Afro Mobile presents Omlagenda House's Shenza Productions Band every last Saturday and first Saturday of the month at Vibes Hub Chiwenda, opposite Prime Pero Station. You have any function and you need entertainment? Call 0709 616 093. Sponsored by Silver Bubble Studios, NBS TV, Senyuka TV, and Afro Mobile.
This PDM is to get all of you out of poverty. That's why we said 100 million per parish per year.
The parish development model is designed to eradicate poverty by providing the support necessary for financial independence.
We have seen how 1 million, how much 1 million can do. The whole of Uganda is very rich. So what you call poverty is actually ignorance. You need everybody to come up.
Let us all take advantage of the conducive prevailing atmosphere of political stability, peace and security to ensure that all our people come out of poverty.
And I've told the banks to stop deducting from the 1 million. You must get the 1 million full. The government is the one which will pay the bank charges.
Now the number of stools in this Matoke enterprise are 1,000. They are on 1 acre. And we harvest 17 bunches every day. The money that we get from this Matoke, after selling each bunch at 15,000 shillings, for the whole year, we get 91.9 million shillings. So I want to encourage all the people of Teso also to change the mindset and adopt to new crops which were not traditionally grown here.
We emphasize 2 words, wealth and jobs. This PDM is to get all of you out of poverty.
This message is brought to you by the Ministry of ICT and National Guidance.
Better study tips. Protect your digital money from phishing scams. Be cautious of suspicious emails or texts asking you to click on links. Instead, visit the official website directly to ensure you're accessing a secure platform. In partnership with Uganda Communications Commission and NBS.
Yes, habari Uganda, my name is Palazzo. Ensonga endeserero ya unemployment. Are you looking for connections? Ozagala wano oboyagala connections eweru egwanga. Hayes Recruitment is here to support you. Aba Hayes Recruitment beba kafulu boka abaina connections ku mirimu mu Uganda nebweru wa Uganda. They have opportunities waiting for you. Era mu kulwanyisa ebbula ly'emirimu n'okubazaamu amaanyi negasene Hayes Recruitment.